Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
And welcome to the Comic Queens podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Annie. And today, Alex and I are so excited for a joint installment of the TBR. I am so glad that we read some stories together. I feel like we've been on like our own tracks for a while.
Yeah.
So it's nice to feel like we're kind of going in the same direction again.
Admittedly, we were kind of forced together because 4 Week Lovers was leaving the Manta subscription. Silent Screams was becoming a daily pass. So we kind of had to read those unless we wanted to do the gem only or pay the extra or do the daily pass for Webtoon.
Which, to be fair, I might pay for Silent Screams anyway.
I was thinking the same. It's very good.
It's very good. 4 Week Lovers is on a lot of other platforms.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can definitely get into that later, but it was kind of a hostage situation.
It was.
We had no choice, but we loved the stories, so I guess it's more like Stockholm Syndrome, maybe. But anyways, thank you all so much for joining us. We're going to be talking about 3 stories that we both read together this week and just kind of discussing through them. So to start us out, we're going to talk about 4 Week Lovers.
Yes. This has been a long journey for us. We started reading this one when it came out.
Yeah.
Originally. And we did fall off the wagon for a while in the middle and then picked it back up. I think we had about 20 episodes left to finish.
Yeah, we did. It picked up for like season 3, and then I read like some of the episodes and then just fell off. And then it completed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's been completed now for a while.
Here's the thing. This series, I feel like, can be described as a series where nothing happens, yet everything happens.
Yeah, not a lot happens. Hope you're catching on. 4 Week Lovers, when we read it, it was on Manta, and it is completed. We read the censored version.
Yes.
So, surprising everybody. We actually read the censored version of this one with 111 episodes. There are 130 episodes in the uncensored version. And I'm not going to lie, that's a significant difference.
I wonder if it would make a difference with some of the storylines, because there were some storylines where I was like, I don't remember this, or this kind of feels like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe.
Maybe it was all just storylines that were happening during sexy time that we just don't know about.
Yeah, I mean, they could have just been plotting to take over the world. Who knows?
I mean, it would all come together at that point. That is not this story. They're not taking over the world. The story does follow Dojin and Jae-hee, and they went to high school together. They kind of are on a little bit of the outs, and Jae-hee gets injured. And then Dojin feels really bad about it and is trying to think of ways to make it up to him. And then it is kind of a hostage situation where Jae-hee's like, you're dating me now because you owe it to me.
You have to date me now. And then we find out that they went to high school together previously. They're in college now when this happens. And they used to date in high school and had a not so great ending to their relationship, where Dojin kind of felt like he had to end the relationship, and he walked away from Jae-hee, and Jae-hee kind of never recovered. He's always loved Dojin, and it's very obvious throughout the series that he loves Dojin and wants Dojin to himself.
Yeah, he pretty successfully does that. Where we left off with this story, I mean, again, like a lot happens, but it's all kind of like small time, like college drama, friend drama, whatever else.
Although he does get kidnapped by his brother and taken to a deserted island, so
that's in the like newer episodes.
But I'm just saying, that's like what I mean by where nothing happens but also everything happens.
Yeah, you're kind of just like, what the hell is happening? So where we kind of hopped back into the story, Jae-hee does lose his memory. Dojin actually jumps out of a like off of a balcony.
Yeah.
And I think that he's trying to get like slippers or something that Jae-hee gave him.
Yeah, I think that that's what it is. It's slippers and like a tie that he has from Jae-hee. And he doesn't, like, he's not setting out to jump out of the window, but he does go to reach for the falling items and then falls out of the window. And everyone thinks his brother pushed him. Which is, you know,
pretty funny.
Or no, not his brother, it's his cousin.
Yeah.
They think his cousin pushed him.
And yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, the cousin denies it, but like kind of in a sketchy way. So you are kind of like, I know you didn't do it. Like, I saw what happened as the reader, and even I don't trust you.
Yeah. You could have done it.
You could have done it. So Jaehee loses his memory because he is like just an innocent bystander standing underneath the window, and he catches Dojin's fall. So in losing his memory, Dojin is convinced. He's like, I need to get Jaehee to remember me. Like, we can't forget the relationship that we've built together. It's so special. And Jaehee is kind of like finding a newfound innocence. So like he goes back to like high school times. He's kind of able to remember Dojin from like high school.
Yeah, he remembers that he had a crush on Dojin, but he doesn't remember that they've been in a relationship for like a year.
Yeah, doesn't remember any of it. And Jaehee's like, I mean, I could tell by like how much I blush around you that I like you, but I mean, my goodness, like the thought of kissing and holding hands, he's just like, oh my goodness,
the scandal.
Yeah, the scandal. I couldn't possibly. But Dojin's really concerned. He's like, I don't want our love to go away. And so who does he consult on this but these thugs that his brother has hired before?
That part really threw just like a wrench in the whole thing. I loved it. It was great. I mean, like, who are you going to turn to but the thugs?
Mm-hmm. And the thugs give some sage advice, as is expected, which is if you really want to make sure that you don't lose him, you have to trap him financially by making sure that you're slowly taking his money away from him. And that way he becomes financially independent on you.
And Dojin is like, yes, this is great advice. I'm going to follow this. Mm-hmm. And he goes and he asks Jaehee for his money. He's like, hey, give me your money. And Jaehee just hands him a credit card and is like, here you go, unlimited access.
Yeah, he's like, give me cash. And Jaehee goes, I don't have cash. Now you have an unlimited credit card.
And then he's like, okay, give me the deed to your building. And Jaehee's like, you already have it.
We're both on the deed. So, yeah, it doesn't go super great. And Dojin is kind of freaking out. But he does realize that no matter what, Jaehee's heart is the same. And they actually come back together no matter what.
Yeah.
But then it kind of goes into an interesting storyline where, you know, Dojin is trying to go through. He's like, we love each other. I'm going to plan our wedding. And as he's trying to do this, there's somebody who's plotting to attack Jaehee. They're like, you always resort to violence and I'm sick of you. And to be honest, don't even remember who this person is.
I do remember who this was. Okay, so this was the guy. Remember when Dojin was trying really, really hard to make the green onion pancake?
Yes.
And it was like his entire goal of this festival was to make the pancake. And Jaehee like eats the one out of the garbage, remember?
Yeah.
The guy was the one who was working with him at that booth. And I don't remember like exactly what happened, but something happens there. And then something else happens in college. And Jaehee exposes him for trying to like
sabotage.
Yes, trying to say that like Dojin or Jaehee did something. So he tries to make them look bad, and then in turn, they make him look bad. And it ruins his whole college career somehow.
This is why I don't remember. It's so complicated.
I saw that, and I was like, I didn't remember it until Dojin goes to make food for Jaehee, and he just makes the green onion pancakes for, like, every meal, and Jaehee is like, can we please have something else?
You know what, though? Scallion pancakes are, like, my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah.
So, Jaehee's lost. But anyways, this guy, who apparently was mortifyingly embarrassed, decides that he's going to stab Jaehee while Jaehee and Dojin are just, like, walking through like, a park or whatever. And he does miss. But Dojin seems to be injured for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And Jaehee obviously loses his mind. And because Dojin's brother is crazy and he's employed these thugs to, like, keep watch over Dojin, he's like, oh my God, my brother almost got stabbed. I need to take him. And so he kidnaps his own brother and takes him to this, like, remote island.
I thought that the brother was in on it and he knew he wasn't really hurt.
I didn't think that.
Okay.
I don't know if it was up for interpretation. Could just be that I'm dumb.
I don't know. That's what I thought. But, I mean, really, there was so much and nothing going on. So who's to say?
So It's funny because, like, Jaehee's obviously, like, trying to team up now with these thugs. He's like, I need to know where they went. And then the thug is like, I'm actually in love with Kijun, Dojun's brother. So I'm going to go with you. We're just going to find them on this island. And then, like, we'll both profess our feelings to the people we love and it'll be fine.
Oh, my gosh. The thug in love with the brother is like, okay, so the lovesick dog where the brother gets a love interest, not needed. Mm-hmm. This brother getting a love interest, a delight.
Yeah. It's also, like, pretty unrequited.
Yeah, the brother, not interested.
Kijun, the brother, literally tases the thug at one point when the thug seems like he's trying to get close to him.
Yeah, but he's not deterred.
Yeah, that won't stop him. Even though tasing is horribly awful and he probably peed himself.
Yeah, but I mean, if you love someone, you're not going to let that stop you.
I guess not. So Jaehee and the thug do end up finding Kijun and Dojun, and then they kind of just stay for a while. Like, no one's like, hey, you kidnapped your brother, you're kind of fucking crazy. They're just like, hey, so, like, now that we're all here, I guess we're just all on this nice island.
Well, it was Dojun's idea, too, because he's like, look, I know that my brother doesn't like Jaehee, and I love Jaehee, so I want them to get along because we're going to get married, and he needs to get on board. So, everyone's going to stay here. They're doing a living room camp out, and it starts off being Jaehee and Dojun, Kijun and the thug. Mm-hmm. And then...
Who has a name, but I mean, really, he's a thug, so...
Yeah, don't remember it. And then Kijun is like, absolutely not, we're switching, and makes Jaehee and the thug sleep next to each other, and then he puts Dojun on the end so that Dojun can't sleep next to Jaehee. I thought it was so funny.
It is super funny. But they do end up spending time together. It becomes increasingly obvious that Kijun's like, fine, I'll tolerate it. Mm-hmm. I'll tolerate your relationship, whatever. And they do end up leaving this remote island that they're staying at. And then you see that Dojun gets an internship. Yeah. And he's going abroad. And so he's like, hey, guys, I'm going to go abroad. It's going to be a time lapse in the story. And who follows him but his brother and Jaehee?
They're both like, all right, he can't know that we're there, but we're going to follow him for these 2 years that he's there.
Yeah, because they can't live without him. And, I mean, they never mention that, you know, they know that they're there.
Yeah.
But I think Dojun knows.
But this is also, like, their bonding experience.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was really needed for them, too. But then we also find out that Jaehee hasn't graduated from college yet because he took some time off. Mm-hmm. And so he didn't graduate with Dojun. And then he was supposed to finish while Dojun had his internship.
But he went abroad.
But he went abroad to stalk his boyfriend, so he didn't do that. And then he comes back, and Dojun is like, you have to finish college. Yeah. You're so close. You have 1 semester left. Finish.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
If it was 1 semester, I'd be like, come on.
I know.
But after he returns from the internship, Dojun is really struggling. He's trying to figure out how to pull off the perfect proposal.
Oh my gosh.
And he's kind of doing it like to excess. He's like practicing it in his head. He's thinking through all these different options. And so much so that he's like up at night thinking about it. So when Jaehee's sleeping next to him, he just like puts the ring on a little bit for practice. And he's like, will you marry me? And then he goes to take it off and Jaehee like clamps his hand down and he's like, thank fucking God.
You finally asked.
And you find out that Jaehee is known. He's like, I found the ring like as soon as you bought it.
Well, he bought it like with a joint credit card.
Yeah. So it wasn't exactly smart.
Yeah. I mean, but that's just, Dojun is just the cutest little, most adorable guy ever.
Yeah. I mean, they're precious. And so, yeah, after he wakes up, he's like, I'm not giving the ring back. We're getting married now. That's that.
I have to say, the last episode, their wedding episode, was really cute, and I haven't seen it done like this before, but maybe it has been. But they treat you as a guest, so like the whole time it's Dojun talking to you as if you are a member of the wedding
Yeah.
And it's
He's like,
so
we've been through
cute.
so much. Like,
Yeah.
you know what it took for us to get here.
Yeah.
We're so glad you could make it.
It's so cute. I've never seen an ending like that before, and I really liked it.
Yeah, it was really cute. I like personally kind of giggled and like kicked my feet at the fact that they were like, oh, we saved a seat for you. I'm like, all for me?
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, it ends on them getting married. You know that they're going to be happily ever after. It's adorable and precious.
Yeah.
I do think that with this one, we probably did miss a lot of context with the with the censored version.
I mean, it's like more than 20 episodes, right?
Oh, I mean, it's 29 episodes.
It's almost 30 episodes that you're missing, so of course there's going to be a little bit of missing context in there.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, it's just a cute story.
Yeah. Also, I lied. It's 19 episodes. Because I'm an idiot.
I didn't think that it was that many, but I was ready to believe you. Anything you say.
Anything for you, Beyonce. Yeah, well, anyways, I'm a dummy. There's a lot of extra content, so, you know, that might have made it so that, like, I was kind of lost throughout the story because I think that that's why I stopped reading in the first place. But it was really cute.
Yeah.
I mean, the art style is just so soft and pretty, and they're adorable. But again, it's like one of those stories where, like, so much is happening. I'm like, how did we even get here?
Yeah. The only way I can describe it is how I've already described it, as so much happens, but also nothing happens.
Yeah, so do with that what you will. I loved it.
I would recommend.
Yeah, super cute. But yeah, it's just kind of one of those. So the next one that we read is a shorter story. It's called Say the Right Thing. It's a romance comedy on Webtoon, which is completed with 20 episodes. So it was also very nice and refreshing to have some of those like quicker episodes to get through. And it's just like a shorter story. This one did a really good job, in my opinion, of wrapping everything up in a way that, like, even though it's a shorter story, I was attached to the characters and it felt cathartic to me.
I mean, it was really good. I do think that the ending was a little bit abrupt because it's unresolved until the very last episode.
Yeah.
But not that takes away from the story because it was still a really, really good story.
Yeah. So this is kind of one of those similar to like a name verse universe where your soulmate is etched into your skin, but it's not their name or their initials or anything like that. It's what they first say to you.
I didn't know that was a thing, name verse.
Yeah. I've read a couple of them, and there are a few on my list, actually.
Okay.
So Pion Pion is one.
Oh.
Which I will also be reading at some point because I bought it all.
Purchased it.
But it's like a lot of times, like they'll be like, oh, your soulmate, you're born with like their initials on you or like their name.
Okay.
Stuff like that. So it's really similar to that, where it's like the first thing they say to you and you have that connection to your soulmate etched into your skin.
Yeah. I have only ever seen like the Red String of Fate style ones, or I think the closest one I have to that is Tied to You, where the ring shows up on your finger once you meet your soulmate as an adult.
Yeah.
But this one is great. So the name, or the first thing that your soulmate says to you shows up on your arm, and we have our main character. His name is Seth, and his arm says, "Watch it, jackass." A great first saying.
What an opener.
I know. And he is already like, okay, I don't really want to meet my soulmate because if he's going to talk like this, not cool.
Yeah, so he's just going about his day-to-day life. He's like watching the news about some killer in the neighborhood or whatever. He's like just kind of going about, works as a mechanic. And as he's on his way to work, he runs into somebody who says, "Watch it, jackass." And Seth is pretty stunned, and he's like, "Hello," and realizes very quickly that he just ran into the murderer that's on TV.
Yeah. Errol, who is a dark mage, and he is accused of murdering his entire family.
Yeah.
And he's been on the run for a year. Mm-hmm. And he takes Seth hostage. So, starting off strong.
Yeah, he does, however, use his magic to just create a portal. They end up going, I think they said they're like 2 countries away.
Yeah.
And then Errol tries to ditch him. Errol's like, okay, see ya. And Seth is like, I have no idea where I am. I don't know what to do. What the hell's going on? But Seth ends up running into him really quickly because Errol had used up most of his magic. So he's like, he couldn't go that far anyways. And when Seth is like, you need to take me home, Errol's like, ooh, I can't. I really can't because my magic is used up. I can't create another portal. So Seth is just kind of joining him for the ride. They go and see this woman named Lady Opal. She is also a mage, but she lives in a country where you're not allowed to be and you're not allowed to practice your magic.
It's illegal.
So she does it on the down low.
Yeah.
But she's there to help and make sure that Errol is able to test this knife that he found from the scene of the crime. And he ends up taking it to her because she can read objects.
And it's like a very rare piece of magic to be able to do. So that's why he's had to go all this distance into a country where magic is illegal to get this done. It's not something that anyone can do. So she reads this for him, and he's hoping to find out who the killer is. And he thinks that if it's someone he knows, then he'll have somewhere to go, like a lead to go off of. And so she reads this for him. And at the same time, Seth is just like trying to do his own thing on the side. Lady Opal gives him the ability to understand the language, and not Errol. Errol does not get that same ability. And so then we see that Seth is questioning Lady Opal and saying, like, did he do it? Because I talked to him and he won't give me a straight answer about it, so I don't know. Mm-hmm. And you see from Errol's point of view, he's like, I'm not going to give you an answer because no one believes me anyways. I've been saying that I didn't do it for a year already and no one's believed me, so why would you? And Lady Opal says, no, he didn't do it. But still, Seth is kind of like on the fence about believing it. So Lady Opal has him look at the object and shows him what the object sees, and he sees the same thing that Seth saw. So his worst moment of life, where he is seeing the aftermath of his entire family being killed. And Errol walks in on this and sees that this happened, and this is like a big betrayal to him. He's like, how could you do this? Both of you. You're in, like, I came to you for help, but this is invading my privacy.
Yeah, extremely invasive. And I mean, it's really sad. It's like Seth is happy to understand Errol better, but they do end up traveling again. Lady Opal's like, you're not safe here. And as they're traveling together, Errol makes it really clear. He's like, Seth, like, I'm not mad that you know. I just wish that you'd asked me and like trusted me on my word about it. And he's like, you didn't want me to see you at your weakest, because when they were going through town, Seth helped him to conjure up some fears and things that Errol could use to scare some thugs out of a building. And he's like, you didn't want to show me your deepest fears, and that was mine, and I didn't get a choice as to whether or not I disclosed it to you. And Seth is really like sick to his stomach about everything he saw. I think a normal reaction.
Yeah. And he is also now conflicted because he's like, all right, I know that this is my soulmate, but since I haven't told him yet, how do I bring it up now in casual conversation? Hey, by the way, I'm your soulmate. I didn't tell you at first because I thought you were a murderer, but okay, here, let's start over.
Yeah, I thought you were a murderer. Now I know you're not, but also you kind of just need a friend because you're kind of going through it. So maybe now's not the time.
Yeah.
And he is really conflicted, but he keeps it to himself. So, they just kind of go about everything. They get to this like seaside tourist town, mostly because Lady Opal kind of nudged them there. But they're like, oh, that's a smart idea. It's like a touristy location. It's not going to be weird for us to not understand the language. Except Seth can still understand it because he's still under the spell. So we do get a lot of funny moments where like Seth is able to translate for them and Errol's just completely clueless.
It doesn't translate to written language, though, because we also see Seth at, like, a convenience store trying to figure out different snacks for them to be able to eat. And he's like, okay, I can't read any of this. I guess I can only listen to the language.
Yeah, it's pretty great. So basically, they end up going on this adventure, and Seth is like, I'm going to be with you until we figure out who actually killed your family.
Yeah.
It is so cute. We don't want to spoil everything, especially because it's so short.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there really is going to be too many spoilers if we say much more. But this one was precious.
I loved it.
It's in the, like, webtoon, you can buy this for cheap kind of sales that they have going on.
I want to say it was 50 coins or less.
Yeah.
That I got it for.
And it is worth it.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
I adored this one. And I mean, like, truly, Seth and Errol are just precious the entire way. I loved them.
Yeah.
So, the last story that we read together today is called Silent Screams. We're taking a moment of silence for ourselves.
I am so excited to talk about this one.
It has been on my mind since I finished it. Like, I've been reading other things, and then I just keep coming back to it. And, like, what do you even say?
I love it so much. It's a psychological thriller on Webtoon. How many episodes?
It's completed with 78 episodes. Also, this does become a daily pass on April 24th. So you'll have to probably buy this one if you want to read it.
It's worth it.
But it's worth it. I've literally read it for free, and I'm probably going to buy it so that I can reread it again.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. If it came out in print, I would buy it in print.
So the artist does also have quite a few different stories that they've worked on. Most recently, a short story for a webtoon contest called Guts and Gore. It is also incredible. I love it. I'm going to probably read everything they've ever made and just become like a total fangirl. I'll just quit the podcast and just follow them around like a little groupie. But this story is incredible. It follows Theo, who is a pretty troubled child. He's constantly getting into fights. He's the one picking them, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of this like self-fulfilling prophecy. He beats people up because they badmouth his mom, and he loves his mom to pieces.
Yeah.
And so he'll beat them up, and then they're like talking shit about her. They're like, wow, she raised a hellion. So then he's beating them up again.
Yeah. So it starts off with Theo kind of wandering around the house, and he's trying to find his mom because it is about to be his 19th birthday, and he has recently run off another tutor that his stepfather, Edward, has gotten for him. And so he's trying to find his mom because he doesn't want to face the wrath of his stepfather. And he can't find her. And so he's walking around. He's asking everyone. He asks the maid. He asks the, like, house manager, I would call him. Butler, maybe.
Yeah.
And he asks his stepfather. Everyone was like, well, she went and traveled to the city to go visit her friend Ruth. And Theo was like, she wouldn't do that without telling me. That's weird. That's not like her at all.
Yeah.
And so he's already suspicious. I'm already suspicious.
We're all already suspicious. But Theo's pretty close with the maid, Annie, and he does talk to her. He's like, something weird's going on, and Annie consoles him. She's like, it's totally fine. Like, your mom's just visiting Ruth. She used to work for her, so, like, they're just close.
Yeah.
And so Theo goes to bed and wakes back up. It's his birthday. Annie made him a cake. And still, his mom is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
And so Annie's like, you know what? I just have to go and clean the doctor's study, and then, we'll spend more time together for your birthday. It's fine. And Theo decides to go and find Annie. And he does find her, but she's seemingly dead on the floor of the study.
Annie has found a hidden room. And you don't see what she sees in the hidden room, but then Theo walks in and finds her dead. And then the next thing he knows, he's knocked out too.
Yeah. Where does he wake up?
He wakes up in a dungeon, in a cell, with his leg chained up and his vocal cords removed.
Yeah.
So it starts off strong.
Mm-hmm.
And then his wonderful stepfather comes down and is like, finally, you can't talk. I haven't had a live patient in a really long time. So this is exciting. I'm going to do some experiments and you're going to be the live patient.
Can I just tell you the amount of fucking fear that hearing I haven't had a live patient in a while, like, struck in me? I was like, oh no. Like, slow motion. This one has given me, like, visceral reactions. It is very gory, so I will say, like, right now, there are several different moments that I was, like, holding my phone away from me.
There are a lot of shocking moments, and not only for body horror. There's a lot of psychological stuff going on here, too.
Yeah.
Like, one of the first psychological things you see is that Theo, right away, figures out that he looks he knows that he looks exactly like his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay, if I just play up that I look like my mom and try and seduce Edward, then he will leave me alone. And so he starts whistling a tune that his mother used to sing, and he's got his shirt down, so he's showing his shoulder off and, like, looking over his shoulder, trying to seduce his stepfather so that he'll be left alone in the cell. And it works for a while because
his stepfather will do these experiments on him.
Yeah. And Edward is like, I can't, like, you look too much like your mother, and with you whistling that song, I just can't. And so he just ends up leaving.
Yeah. There are a couple times he, like, pulls him in from the, like, cage that he's in, basically.
Yeah.
And, like, kisses him.
Very weird.
And, like, you can just see how, honestly, demented the both of them are.
Everyone in this series. And so then we see that he does end up getting operated on, but Edward is not at his best. So he's not doing everything he needs to. He's not completely focused. So when he's going to give one of these experimental procedures to Theo, Theo doesn't have enough anesthesia, so he ends up waking up in the middle of it. And this is one of the gory moments that you see.
You know for a fact, we didn't even read this one in the same room. You know how I reacted here.
Yeah, I do. There was audible gasps.
I think like a retching.
Do you even want to say it, or do you want to leave it as a mystery?
No, we'll leave it as a mystery.
Yeah. So, honestly, this one I don't want to talk too much about because it is so good and everyone should go buy it and read it, and I don't want to spoil any of the mystery, but the stepfather is crazy. Theo is crazy. Everyone is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's really just like everyone is out for themselves almost.
Yeah.
There's like one person maybe who might be not out for themselves. I don't know, who's to say. And lots of different things happen.
And you're leaving it at that?
And I think we should leave it at that.
I mean, I will say this. I don't even know how to put it into words. I just like my heart is like, I want more stories like this forever and ever. The characters are so complex. Every single one of them, you get to see all of their stories. And I will say, like, start to finish, nothing is as it seems. Nothing went as I expected. It is twists and turns, like, every single episode, and I couldn't put it down.
Yeah. I read it all in one sitting.
Yeah. I mean, there's not really another way to do it. I don't think you could have paid me to put this down.
Yeah.
But honest to goodness, if you're wanting just an incredible thriller, if you can handle a little bit of the gore, there are like a lot of those warnings for you, so you'll know when it's coming. But this one is maybe one of the best thrillers I've ever read.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Hands down. So, so good.
We can't even say anything else.
And I wish we could. Please read it so that next week can just be us talking about silent screams.
Yeah.
But highly, highly recommend. If you have not read this, you can purchase it. Or if you have more patience than Alex and I, you can read it as a daily pass. But it is worth every single moment that you're reading it. So, highly recommend. Well, that is all Alex and I have to talk about today. We are so glad that we got to get kind of back on the same track for a minute.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of all just spiraling into a bunch of different stories.
It was fun. We should do this more often.
Yeah. But thank you all so much for joining us for another episode. If you don't already, you can follow us on Instagram for consistent recommendations on webcomics, or you can feel free to tune in next week. We'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.